Now on CoastTV News.
Lewis restaurants may soon start playing music outdoors. The requirements business owners need to follow for an enjoyable experience.
A new hotel tax increase may be coming to Ocean City. We'll tell you how much of an increase vacationers could accept.
Plus, it's Native Plant Month, how you can improve your environment.
We're tracking some strong storms pulling through our area, and it's prompted the latest severe thunderstorm watch. I'll update you on the latest.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
We are taking a live look right now outside into Laurel. Sunny skies at the moment, but this is change. Change is coming on the way. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Charlie Sakaitis has the evening off. Welcome to our news at 6. We begin tonight with a severe first alert weather day.
Our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now to show us where some dangerous storms are and how fast they're coming in.
In fact, they're picking up a little momentum, moving at about 45 to almost 50 miles per hour. And we've had the watch area and warning areas change and augmented since our 5 o'clock newscast. So we're still under a level 2 for all of Sussex right now, meaning that we're going to watch out for the possibility of isolated intense storms that are going to be short-lived. However, this category 3 is the greatest concern right now. That orange that you see from Easton, Cambridge, Elliott, Salisbury, and Westover, right in this area, okay, that's where we're looking for the possibility of a more in the way of intense storms that could possibly cause some wind damage. And this storm already has a history of creating some damaging hail. Here's the latest look at what's happening. The severe thunderstorm watch, it's in effect until 10 o'clock. Now, when I say a severe thunderstorm watch, all I'm saying is that all the ingredients are on the table in order to make the cake. When it's a warning, that means the cake is coming out of the oven and it's real. So we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings in our immediate area just yet. But we have some impressive cells that are now marching its way throughout, right along Highway 363 near Palmetto. We zoom in a little bit tighter. You can see near Princess Anne coming out of Nanticoke. And this is actually what we're seeing right now as far as that cell is concerned. Now, as you begin to kind of break down and look at the analysis of this, I'm going to do a little something different here. I'm going to do a little 3D slicing right here with this storm cell. So you can see that we're looking at it, generally speaking, it's continuing to be a system that we're creating up like to 3,000 feet right here. So it's starting to gain some momentum. This small little area of purple here indicating that it's a very intense cell right now, and we're seeing early circulation. Now, if you ever see this early circulation and there's 3 of them and it's red, that means we're talking tornado. So we're still at the severe thunderstorm level at this point. We're going to talk more about how long these things are going to last and where they're going next in a moment, and we'll track it a little bit more for you. But until then, back to you, Maddie.
Paul, thank you. You might be hearing some new additions to the downtown Lewis atmosphere as a new ordinance allowing what's called ambient outdoor music has gotten the green light from City Council. But not everybody is playing along with the tune. In the newsroom now is Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert. Charles, the new rule, mixed reaction in the beach town.
Maddie, this new ordinance allows for places like restaurants and breweries to play a little bit of outdoor music on their decks and patios if they have them. But they do have to follow a few rules. For example, the music can only be played between 11:30 in the morning and 9:30 at night. And furthermore, the music cannot be louder than 65 decibels. Now, for reference, a normal conversations volume is about 60 decibels, according to Yale University. Now, per the ordinance, the goal of this ordinance is to help out businesses and boost the local economy. And some in the city see the benefits of a little bit of music when you're going out to eat in the city. But others worry about this extra noise proving to be nothing but a disturbance.
Some little background music. We're not talking loud. We're talking less than a hairdryer. So you can easily talk over it.
Certainly nobody that lives around 2nd Street wants it. And I worry that the people that live over top of some of these restaurants having to listen to somebody else's playlist all day long.
This ordinance is on a 3-year trial period, so it will sunset in 2027. But if Lewis City Council chooses, they can vote to extend it once this trial period is complete. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Charles. Now that Lewis has approved that outdoor ambient music for restaurants with patio licenses, there are some more restrictions. The decibels, like Charles mentioned. Also, follow me on this. Speakers can't be larger than 10 inches, and they must face directly into the establishment. Businesses must have approval from the property owner if they're renting the space there, and that permit to play the music can't give it to somebody else.
Days after forming a campaign committee, former state auditor Kathy McGinnis has filed to run for House District 14. The current holder of the seat, Representative Pete Schwarzkopf, announced his retirement in July 2023. McGinnis is part of a three-way Democratic primary that includes Common Cause Director Claire Snyder Hall and Human Rights Commissioner Marty Rendon. There are currently no Republican candidates for the seat. McGinnis was convicted of 2 misdemeanors in 2022 related to the employment of her daughter, but was acquitted of more serious felony charges. The Delaware Supreme Court recently upheld one conviction while reversing another, and prosecutors have decided not to retry her. McGinnis has been working as a pharmacist after her legal troubles.
The Delaware Voting Rights Coalition, that's a branch of the ACLU, is getting involved in upcoming school board elections. According to the coalition, a comprehensive voter guide is now available in both English and Spanish to help tackle historically low voter turnout. It's important to note the guide includes voting logistics, like where there are elections and who is eligible to vote in them. There's no political information like candidates or issues listed there. Delaware school board elections are May 14th.
People looking to vacation in Ocean City may have to cough up some more money this summer. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe breaks down one Maryland House bill that is now moving forward.
John and Joanne Clark enjoy vacationing in Ocean City.
We come here once or twice a year, and we love it. The place is lovely and really well kept.
But many vacationers could be seeing an increase in the hotel bill when they come here to stay. House Bill 186 has passed both the House and Senate. It will give Eastern Shore counties the authority to raise hotel tax from 5 to 6%. It's a revenue boost the Clarks want to see put right back into the community.
Instead of charging the residents, they can instead charge people like us who come here and rent places to spend time.
But Nick Preziosi wants to know what this extra money would go towards, and worries that increases like this could cause people to stay home.
I guess you would want to look at the occupancy rates for the hotels in the past few years, because during COVID, the rates went up with inflation like everything else. So did their occupancy rates go down, or have they been pretty level over the past, say, 5 or 10 years?
House Bill 186 is waiting for a signature of approval from Governor Wes Moore before the hotel tax increase can take effect on July 1st this year. I'm Kevin Zappe in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
In case you forgot, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but your federal 2023 tax returns, they're due like now. If you don't owe money, there's no penalty for late filing. However, if you do owe taxes and don't pay on time, you're going to pay. So if you can't finish your taxes by tonight, you can ask for a 6-month extension. In Delaware, the last day to file taxes is April 30th, 2024, state taxes specifically there. Most refunds are sent within 21 days if you use direct deposit, but refunds might be delayed if you claim certain tax credits, owe the government money, or physically mail in your return.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what will you do with your tax refund once you have it? Let's look at the updated results, Maddie.
And let's keep in mind, the majority still is what refund, ?
I don't know. I'll put anything I can towards my vacation fund. Okay. That's only 3% though.
All right. Well, that's part of that, but we'll see what people keep voting. And maybe people haven't finished their taxes yet, Mallory. They have a couple hours left.
There's time to decide on your taxes, and there's time to decide on our poll. So if you haven't voted yet, just go to coasttv.com or our news app.
Delmarva Power is upgrading its energy infrastructure. The power company says upgrades will help stop power outages or at least shorten them. Projects include rebuilding nearly 6 miles of power lines in the Ellendale, Lincoln, Milford, Milton, that sort of general area, and construct a new 5-mile line. This will provide backup electrical fields specifically for Ellendale and Milton. Construction will take place along Old State Road, Route 16, and Mulberry Street. It starts this spring, should be done by early 2025.
The city of Lewis is accepting public comments for 2 ordinances about buildings. The city is looking to change its freeboard requirement. That's how high a building must be off the ground or above flood level. The second ordinance will look into reducing lot coverage. That's how much you would build on the property, and clearly define the materials that should be used on driveways and parking areas. The comments are due April 26th.
New in South Bethany, there's a parking permit cap. Town Council voted unanimously to reduce the number of parking permits per property from 4 to 2. Paid parking in Bethany Beach, that begins May 15th. Well, after its former chief was embroiled in scandal, the town of Bethany Beach has appointed a new police chief. The town council has unanimously appointed Sergeant Patrick Foley as the chief during their meeting this afternoon. Foley has been acting as the town's officer in charge since January. This comes after former police chief Michael Redman and his subordinate Captain Darren Cathell were fired after allegations of misusing overtime funds, and Redman pled guilty to a DUI in a separate incident. Foley has been with the Bethany Beach Police Department since 2006.
From above, with our Coast Copter, you can see paving work began in Dewey Beach. According to the town, the second block of Chesapeake Street will be paved. The work will continue down to Bayard Avenue to Bellevue Street. The contractors will have a hard stop date on May 3rd. Paving will resume again after Labor Day, and no parking signs will be placed on the affected streets.
If you're like many of us and enjoy the Lewis-Georgetown Trail, you're gonna need to slow down. Crews are on the trail between Minnis-Conway Road and Log Cabin Hill Road, removing trees and dead wood above the popular path. Kind of like road work you can see here. There are flaggers, so you might have to pause your walk or bike ride for the next week. People we spoke with today say it's a short-term pain for long-term gain.
So I'm a pretty active cyclist and out here to enjoy the day, and I think it's great that they're putting effort and resources into maintaining the trail. I think rail trails are an important part of building active communities where whether you're young or old, you can come out and enjoy the day and get some exercise. So I was pleased to see this. It was a surprise, but I was pleased to see it.
The trail tree work is set to go until 5 p.m. Friday, weather permitting. And we have a lot more news to get to this evening.
The latest updates on turkey hunting regulations. Find out how new proposals could change the game by 2025.
And we now have a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Somerset and Worcester until 6:30. This is the cell right now over Westover and Palmetto. It's moving towards the southeast at 30 miles per hour, producing 60 mile per hour winds and at least penny-size hail.
But first, it's Native Plant Month. We'll tell you the importance those plants play in our local ecosystem when we're back in just 60 seconds.
Spring into savings at the car store. Upgrade your relationship with the open road with a quality pre-owned car priced to move with best in market pricing. It's out with the old and in with the newer. Spring into savings. TheCarStoreOnline.com.
$6 billion. The total economy of a small country. Now a cash grab for Fat Cat Delaware lawyers. Because Chancellor Kathleen McCormick is doing their bidding. She stopped a legally binding contract in order to grant them billions in legal fees. That's a $300,000 an hour cash grab for McCormick's future bosses, while everyday Delawareans barely scrape by. What does McCormick have to say about these Delaware Fat Cat lawyers? We've always had each other's backs.
When there's work to be done or fun to be had, there's only one place to go to get the truck you need. The Truck Store. And top dollar for your trade and the certified advantage means you'll find the right truck right now. The Truck Store. MyTruckStoreOnline.com.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
April is National Native Plant Month, and with today being one of the warmest days of the year along the coast, it's the perfect time to think native.
Our meteorologist Alex Seymour explored why native plants are important and how you can bring natives to your yard.
A bumblebee buzzes around the blooms of a native eastern redbud tree. Blue flowers dangle from the stems of a native Virginia bluebell. These plants are just a couple of the plants that call Delmarva home. April is Native Plant Month, and it is being celebrated at the Inland Bay's Garden Center just in time for gardeners to rush outside as the spring warmth takes over here along the coast. Native plants play a vital role in our local ecosystem.
There's native insects that evolved with different grasses and other different plants, and if those plants are not here because of the invasives taking over their property, then these insects cannot survive.
Gardeners can play an important role in maintaining our healthy ecosystem, and you don't need a huge yard to make a big difference.
If you just have a pot and put a native plant in it, allows the insects a stepping stone into where they can go and get it natively and naturally. So that every little bit helps immensely.
Native plants like milkweed, which feed monarchs, golden alexanders, which feed black swallowtails, and red columbine, which feed columbine dusky wings, can all easily be added to home gardens to benefit wildlife and add beauty to your yard. Also, don't forget the native trees like eastern redbud and serviceberry, which can host hundreds of native insects, keeping our local food chain healthy. If you would like to add native plants to your own garden, you can find a list of nurseries which sell native plants in my article on CoastTVnews.com. I'm meteorologist Alex Seymour in Bethany Beach, Coast TV News.
We're tracking the latest severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for us, and now we're seeing that same cell is going to go through Willow Grove, then Girdle Tree, then George Island Landing. We're going to update you on how long this warning will stick around and if there's more stormy weather on the way.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would say.
So they're made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would
And
go.
they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think
and
so.
they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out? And the custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
Get the Coast TV First Alert Weather app. With live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
This week on Wheel, things get wild.
A little wave.
My body doesn't move that way.
Monday at 7 on Coast TV.
It's the Delmarva Dental Services Show. Yay! Starring Dr. Harmon, the brilliant Dr. Harrison, the incomparable Dr. Sikelis, and me, Dr. Aki. Introducing our amazing assistant, Chief, and our high-spirited hygienists.
And featuring our very special guest, you.
So sit back, relax, and smile. It's the Delmarva Dental Services Show.
It's the perfect time to upgrade your vehicle at IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Enjoy remarkable savings with discounts of up to $10,000 off Ram trucks or over $11,000 off Grand Cherokees, or save up to $9,600 off Dodge Chargers. Explore enticing lease options across our entire inventory, featuring the Wrangler, Compass, and the Dodge Hornet all-wheel drive. Discover more at igburton.com or drop by any IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram location today in Melford, Smyrna, Newark, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Give your backyard a cozy enhancement with patio systems in Lewis, Delaware. Integrity is the pillar of our craft, with quality craftsmanship to transform your yard or deck into a custom oasis, providing you comfort all year round. Take control of the elements with the Shore's best selection of pergolas, retractable awnings, screen and glass enclosures, and a wide selection of modern decking and railing systems personalized your way. For exceptional workmanship at reasonable prices, contact Patio Systems, your backyard living specialist. Locally owned and operated since 2001.
We've been tracking the threat of severe storms with a history of hail throughout this afternoon and this evening, and we still have some fresh storms to tell you about in just a moment. We've had a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning that we're going to pass along to you in just mere moments. Our Hershey's exterior camera in Ocean City, 59 degrees, and we have the winds out of the south. Now, it's cooled down along the coast since this frontal boundary is pushed through, and we're starting to get this rain-cooled atmosphere to drop the temperatures a bit for us, but we're going to stay in the 60s. Now, let's go ahead and detail the threat that we have in place right now. We're at a level 2 for the most part, and that's all of Sussex and going into a good portion of our viewing area. Now, we do have a level 3 concern near Easton, Cambridge, Elliott, Salisbury, and Westover, but this has been fluid throughout this afternoon because that's just the nature of dealing with isolated thunderstorms during this time of the year, because spring is a volatile time. Now, we're starting to see this fresh cell that's pushing through along Highway 675 and is going towards Girdle Tree and Wellborn, but it's also prompted the latest warnings. Now, we have the watch that's generally speaking for the entire area. That's in effect until 10 o'clock, meaning all the ingredients are in place for a severe thunderstorm to pop off. But we're starting to pick up some circulations on some of the storms as they move from the south from the north to the south. So everything's falling to the south. That's good news for us because it's falling away from most of us. But we do have a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning for Somerset and Worcester until 6:30. This area of purple that you see here between Westover and Loretto, that's prompting that storm and that concern for the storm. Now, this is the estimates of rain. So we're looking at possibly up to even over an inch of rain along the roads between Loretto and Westover. But this is the area of concern that we have at this present time. You can see how it's moving very steadily. But you notice I wanted to show you this particular one because it's breaking apart as it moves more so towards the southeast, which bodes well. But we track that for right now. We're expecting for it to move through Pocomoke City, then Girdle Tree, then Figs Landing, because it's moving in this path, like we said, about 30 miles per hour. And it has a history of 60 mile per hour winds and at least some penny-sized to possibly even quarter-sized hail with this system as it pushes on through. Now, as far as our immediate Sussex County area, we've been high and dry and quite fortunate to avoid all this, although we have the trough that's really triggering this mechanism with this frontal boundary to our north. Since it's basically, we're looking at a mixture of warm and cool air with the stationary boundary, it isn't quite volatile enough to spark thunderstorms everywhere. And that could have been the case because we have the winds coming out of the south. And look at this. We matched our record high for today, 86 degrees. That means we were primed for bad weather. We just happened to be fortunate to avoid it. And that's how we want to stay. All right. Temperatures are in the 80s inland. We're drying off and we're cooling off quickly along the coast, but we're still 6 to 9 degrees above where we were just 24 hours ago. Now, as we begin to take a look at this, we're looking at our model still indicating we could see some volatile storms by 6:30, and then going to the 7:30 hour, we'll see most of it push across. Now, we could see another wave try to slice through later on this evening, but that's looking iffy at best. Now, to our south, we're looking at 7 o'clock. Most of the stormiest of weather should be out of the way, passing through Newark, Snow Hill, and Pocomoke City, and moving away from those regions and out of the vicinity. Tuesday, different story. We'll start off chill in the morning and chill in the afternoon as far as any kind of volatile weather is concerned. 70s inland, 60s along the shore, but winds are primarily out of the south. Wednesday afternoon, we're looking at another wall of storms, possibly by 2 o'clock. Once again, the iffiness of those afternoon storms during the spring season, that's kicking in for the next few days in a row. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. Another round of rain on Wednesday. And once again, severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for our area until 10, but I expect that's going to be allowed to expire a little ahead of schedule.
Thank you, Paul. Here's a quick update from DenRec for turkey hunting season. Right now, you can hunt turkeys using 4, 5, or 6 shot sizes. If you want to use 7 or 7.5 shot, make sure it's mixed with one of the larger sizes in your shell. DenRec says there's a new proposal that might allow using smaller shots starting in 2025 due to new technology that keeps hunting safe and fair. Join the Delmarva Sports Network at the Delaware State Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoors Expo. Both indoor and outdoor vendors will be on site showcasing everything outdoor. They've got boats, RVs, hot tubs, hunting, fishing, and so much more. The DSN Outdoors Expo runs this Friday, April 19th through the 20th.
Soaring Over the Shore is sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
An important part for Ocean City and the drive to it, the Isle of Wight Bay, is just as important for nature as it is for tourism.
Between Route 90 and Route 50 is this beautiful bay. Over half of the canals adjacent to the coastal bays are in the Isle of Wight, and 3 creeks lead into this body of water. It's a geographic unifier and also home to boaters, jet skiers, fishermen, anybody who wants to get on the water in Worcester County.
Honey, did you see all the shingles on the ground from that storm last night?
Wow, those winds were really loud.
I know who I'm calling, Morse Roofing and Siding. I heard they're the roofing storm damage experts and will work directly with our insurance company. I'm calling Morse right now for my complimentary roof inspection.
You can visit them on the web at morsehomeimprovement.com or call 302-663-0042.
There's good.
There's better.
And then there's Morse.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
Toyota is going all wheels in with fantastic deals on thousands of in-stock Toyotas ready for delivery. So visit your local dealer today for adventure-ready trucks with legendary reliability. Check out the all-new 24 Tacoma or get low 1.99 APR on a full-size Tundra. Get fantastic deals when you go all wheels in on your new Toyota. Let's go places.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag #SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
Next Jeopardy! Can returning champ Allison Betts pull off win number 3?
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit. Monday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
On The Jennifer Hudson Show, the incredible cast of Young Sheldon. So tell me, how does it feel that you guys come to the final season
Tuesday at 2
of such
on
a successful
Coast TV.
show?
Get ready for 4 days of fun in the sun at Springfest. Enjoy amazing food, live entertainment, unique artisan products, and more. With over 200 artisan vendors, local food, and enhanced selections of beer and wine, don't miss this free event located at the Ocean City Inlet from May 2nd through the 5th. Springfest features 2 stages and more than 30 live performances, including headliners, The Olivia Show, a tribute to Olivia Newton-John, country music sensation Lauren Elena, and alternative rock band Everclear. Don't miss out. Get all the details at ococean.com/springfest.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
Dry Tech camera out in Ocean City right now, very calm for us. The winds are out to the south, and we're expecting for the temperatures to stay in the 60s, but we're watching out for thunderstorms to fire off, particularly around 8 o'clock in that area. Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 10 o'clock, meaning all the ingredients are in place for severe weather. We have this newly issued severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for our immediate area. That stays in effect until about, let's say, 4 more minutes before this cell moves more towards Girdle Tree as well as Wellborn. Be sure that you call our weather line at 443-880-9100. Sponsored by Baird, Mandela's, Brockstedt, and Federico. And here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
We'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.